So from today forward, there is 6 days left, which is like almost a week. Wow, that is not a lot of time. Okay, let's begin with today's lesson. Today, the topic for the vocab is going to be music. Yes, music. The first word is going to be adoring fans. The most important thing here is the word adoring, which means like loving. In general, people who love something. This doesn't necessarily have to be about music, and it doesn't even have to be about like fans. Someone can adore somebody else. Adore is a synonym for the word love. Adore means like to love a lot. Next is background music, and another word for this is elevator music. This is basically music that is not necessarily made to be listened to by itself. It's just music that you listen to while you are doing something or while you are in the elevator. Next is a catchy tune. The adjective catchy does not necessarily have to be about tune. You can use catchy to talk about music. So you can say catchy music, and that just means music that you listen to and you like it a lot. Like it gets stuck in your head. That's like catchy music. Yeah. Okay, if you can hear me well, if my microphone is working, please raise your hand in the chat right now. Okay. One, two, three, four. I think I need to move it a little bit closer. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me a bit better now. Sorry, I was not speaking into the microphone. The microphone was too far away. So, hopefully you can hear me now. Hello? Okay. Should be better. So, thank you so much for raising your hands. Yeah. Let's continue. Next is classical music. Classical is a genre of music. By the way, that word, we say it's genre. We do not say genre. We say genre. Genre of music, which is like old white people music. Like, for example, Beethoven, Bach, all these kinds of people. Yeah. Let's keep going. The next one is to download tracks. Basically, this means like when you're downloading music. Yeah. To obtain means like to get. This is also a very good word. Yes. To have a great voice means to be a good singer. Simple, easy, makes sense. Good. To go on tour. This means when you are like a singer or some kind of band, or you make music and you go to other countries to play music in those countries. That is called going on tour. A huge following is what we call like bands or like people who have a lot of fans. We say that they have a huge following. Next is live music. This is music made, like for example, not in the studio, not recorded, but like played by people. Let me use some of these words in a sentence so you understand. My favorite band, Vampire Weekend, has a huge following. They went on tour around 2 weeks ago. The lead singer, Ezra Koenig, he has a great voice, and that's why I love listening to his live performances. He makes live music very well. I am really one of their adoring fans. Yeah. So live performance is the same as live music. Massive hits. This is like whenever some kind of song becomes really, really popular, it becomes a massive hit. For example, like I don't really know any Russian songs. I guess I can say Godzilla by Eminem became a massive hit. Next is a music festival. Woo! My apologies. Sorry. 8:30. I did not get enough sleep today. Music festival is a performance at some kind of place that happens over several days. So, for example, Coachella is a music festival. It's not one concert, but it's like several different small concerts, basically. I mean, they're not small, of course. They're very big. They happen every single day. But basically, a music festival is like where people go to listen to a lot of music over several days, more than one day. Yeah. Let's keep going. Okay. Next one is going to be, if it loads, oh my god. Technology. Oh, okay. Yes. Musical talent. This is somebody who is good at music, somebody who makes music well. There's another one right here, actually, which I think will be kind of interesting for you, which is perfect pitch. Perfect pitch is like a type of person who can listen to any sound, like beep, boop, beep, beep, bop, boop. They can listen to any sounds, and then they can tell you exactly which note that sound is. One of these people, I forgot his name. I think his name is something like, I will Google it a little bit later. But basically, he's this musician, and he makes like music, I think, for TikTok. He has perfect pitch. So he listens to any sound. Like it can be, for example, like a fan. It can be the sound of a microwave. Any sound. He can listen to it and tell you what the note is. Next is to be out of tune. So this is whenever you are singing the wrong notes. Simple, easy. If you don't know music theory, this is not that important. Basically, it means like you're singing badly. Next is a piece of music. This is what we call like one song, one composition. We call it a piece of music. Yeah. If you're interested, like, a bottle of water, a piece of music. Simple, easy. Next is to play by ear. Because remember, music is not countable. You cannot say musics. Remember, do not say musics. Music is singular. A piece of music is countable. And, did I say singular? Oh my God, why did I say that? Music is uncountable, whereas songs are countable and pieces of music are countable. Next is to play by ear. So this is like a couple different jazz musicians, a lot of different jazz musicians. They can play without reading the music. A lot of the time when somebody plays music, they read it. They read the music and then they play the music depending on what they can see. Some people can play without that. They just play by listening to what they're playing and they're like, oh, okay, cool. Next is a pop group. So this is a group of people who play or sing pop music together. I don't know why this is here. I'm going to erase this. Yeah, whatever. Next is to read music. So this is basically whenever you have like a sheet of music, it's literally called sheet music, by the way. You can read it and you can follow the notes. That's called to be able to read it. So if you ever heard someone say, I'm reading, you should ask them, what are you reading? Music? Yeah. Next is a rock band. Rock is a genre of music as well, kind of like classical. For example, Imagine Dragons is a rock band. Metallica is a rock band. AC/DC is a rock band. A lot of different rock out there these days. To sing along to. Sing along, actually, I'm going to write that down. Sing along. Sing along is a type of song that has like these lyrics that are very easy to understand. For example, Ed Sheeran has a lot of sing-alongs. Sing-along. Ed Sheeran has a lot of sing-alongs. Like, for example, the song Shape of You. I'm in love with the shape of you. The words are very simple, and the tune is also very simple. And another one is like Jingle Bells. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. It's simple. You can sing it even if you're 2 years old, even if you're a small baby, right? Those types of songs are easy to sing along to. This means sing together with, basically. Yes. I don't know what sing-song is. I have never heard sing-song in my entire life. I'm going to remove that. Next is a slow number. This is basically a song with a slow tempo. Song that's slow. So, like, if you hear, like, some kind of valse or some kind of, like, music for, like, weddings. Even though, not in Uzbekistan. Uzbek wedding music is amazing. Oh, I love it so much. It's great. Karnai Surnai is like, it's beautiful. I love it. This is what weddings should really be like. When you go to a wedding in the US and they have, like, some terrible music, like, like pretending that they're in love. Love doesn't exist, idiots. Go listen to some Karnai Surnai and then you will understand true happiness. I love Uzbek music. Anyway, yeah, so a slow number is like slow music. Next is to take up a musical instrument. This means to begin learning any musical instrument. That's it. This is just a synonym of that. Taste in music is like the music that you like to listen to, and to be tone deaf means to not be able to understand different notes. So, for example, if you're singing out of pitch, out of tune all the time, that means you're tone deaf. You don't hear the sounds. You don't understand the differences. So, we got through all the vocabulary. These words are quite situational, as last time. But luckily, I actually know a lot of different YouTube channels on this topic, so I can find you a lot of very interesting videos that go into different topics. Because in general, music is connected to movies, music is connected to films, music is connected to culture, music is connected to media. But as a whole, music is a very separate topic. It's kind of like describing people, like physically. If they ask you the question, you can use this vocabulary. If they don't ask you the question, That's it. Together. So yeah. Okay. Let's get to it. Yeah, let's begin. So we are going to. One second. Delicious. Let's do some pronunciation. So I'm going to say the word, as always, and I want you to repeat it. Let's say each word one time. Let's get to it. For some reason, every time I do this, my nose dies just completely. Adoring fans. Background music. Elevator music. A catchy tune. Classical music. To download tracks. To have a great voice. To go on tour. Let's say that again. To go on tour. That on tour sounds like on tour, like that. It has to be very smooth. A huge following. Live music. Live performance. A massive hit. A music festival. Musical talent. Perfect pitch. To be out of tune. To play, a piece of music. To play by ear. To read music. Let's continue. A rock band. To sing along to. Sing along. A slow number. To take up a musical instrument. To take up a musical instrument. Taste in music. To be tone deaf. Okay. So, yeah, that's it for the vocab for this lesson. Let me answer some questions from you guys. So right now, look for your most interesting part 1 and part 3 questions on the topic of music. I'll be honest with you guys, I love music. Music is like one of my biggest passions in life, like personal passions. I have tried creating music, and I unfortunately sucked at it. I have tried rapping. I sucked at it. I was a terrible rapper. But I love listening to music, and music is one of those things where it's one of the only things that really opens me up and makes me emotional. And so because of that, it's very easy for me to talk about it. What I recommend you to do if you don't have such a big connection with music is to at least listen to a couple American bands, listen to a couple albums, and learn some information about some musicians. Because if you get a topic like this on your IELTS, it's a very good idea to be able to speak and to to have an easier time. So that's what I recommend you to do. So if you have some questions about part 1 and part 3 questions about music, please raise your hand right now. Okay, Farida, you have a Lana Del Rey album on your cover. So I'm going to unmute you. Please say hi if you can hear me, Farida.
Hi.
Farida. Farida, I haven't muted you. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. I have a part 1 question for you.
Wait, I think
By
I
the
can't
way-
hear you. Let me change my settings. One moment. Wait. Wait. Great.
So I have a part one question for you.
Let's do it.
It's interesting to me. Who is your favorite singer?
Yeah, I have indeed a favorite singer. He's not just a singer; he's also a DJ, and his name is Porter Robinson. He makes electronic music, different kinds of EDM, electronic dance music, and I really love his music. Sometimes he sings, and when he does, he has a great voice. All of his tunes are incredibly catchy, and some of his songs are massive hits. I've never gone to any of his musical festivals, but I've always wanted to. Yeah, so that was actually a very good length answer. I will just say that right away. That was actually the perfect length, just so you guys know. So, 2 to 3 sentences, something like that. I think mine was around 4 maybe, but in general it was pretty good. Thank you, Farida, for the question. Aslidin Begum Kulov, unmute yourself and please say hello.
Hi.
Yo, do you have a part 1 or a part 3 question for me?
Actually, part 3 question.
Do it.
What do you think can music impact to people's mood?
Mood? The last word was mood?
Yes, mood.
And what was the question? How do you think or do you think?
What do you think?
Okay.
What do you think can music impact to people's mood? This kind of.
Okay. Sorry, to people's mood. That's grammatically incorrect. That is okay. Thank you for your question. Yes, I think that a piece of music has a lot of emotional impact on any person that listens to it. I feel like music as a whole is like a key to the soul. When you hear music, it really opens you up and it really gives you a chance to look into the inner world of the musician. And, really, whatever kind of song you're listening to in terms of like mood, right? Is it a slow number? Is it some kind of happy, cheerful sing-along? That's the way you're going to be feeling. And especially a lot of bands have specific moods that they like to make songs for. For example, a lot of rock bands, they try to make music that makes you feel like you're very cool. A lot of nowadays performers, like artists, they try to make you feel like you're rich or like you're very popular. And I think that, your mood when you're listening to music depends completely on your taste in music. And whatever you listen to, whatever pieces of music you listen to, those are the emotions that you're going to be feeling most of the time. Yeah. Thank you so much for your question. Wonderful question. Let's move on to the next person. Okay. Nafisa, I have unmuted you. Thank you, Asladin Beginkulov. Nafisa, I have unmuted you. Please unmute yourself and say hi.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. Do you have a part 1 or a part 3 question for me?
Do you think it's true that anyone can sing with the right training?
This is part 3?
Yeah.
Okay. I really think that you don't need to have a great voice to sing, right? I don't think that musical talent is a real thing. I think that anyone can have millions of adoring fans just by learning how to sing. Of course, there's something like perfect pitch, which you need to train from your childhood if you want to actually sing, really, really well. But even if you don't have perfect pitch, you're not always going to be singing out of tune just because you don't have an amazing voice. You just need to train it. I think your voice is the same as any other muscle in your body. And then another thing is it's very important to be able to read music, and it's very important to be able to play music by ear, because I don't think you can be a very good musician if you don't understand musical theory. But if you're just trying to sing and you want to make some live performances and you want to maybe join some festivals, I don't think you need a lot of musical talent. You just need the right kind of training. So yes, I think that you can, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your question. Okay, so let's finish on that. Thank you. Okay, next we are going to move on to the topic of today's lesson. Real quick. Give me a second. The topic for today is brainstorming. And brainstorming is useful for a lot of different sections. Mainly, it's very important for Section 2, but we're not going to be talking about Section 2 because for Section 2, what's more important is planning. What's more important is understanding the order in which you are going to present information and understanding how you are going to structure your information. Brainstorming is different. Brainstorming is more useful for Section 3, where you don't really know what to talk about, right? And this is something that a lot of people say, and also for Part 1 potentially, but mainly for Part 3. A lot of people tell me, Alex, I have no idea. These are 3 techniques for how to have ideas. These are 3 ways in which you can make ideas magically appear inside of your head, because these are really important ways, and this is truly information that will be helpful for you. Brainstorming effectively is a must for every single IELTS learner. So, yeah, let's talk about it. 3 techniques. The first technique is change your perspective. Change your perspective. And this is a very common and well-known strategy, especially for different kinds of actors. A lot of actors do this whenever they're acting. It's called method acting, where they go and instead of acting sad, right, necessarily moving your face and being like, oh, I'm so sad, they just feel sad. They imagine that they are in that situation. They make themselves believe that they are sad. They put themselves in the shoes of a sad person. And by doing that, they naturally act, right? This is one of the ways. Of course, I'm not an actor, unfortunately, so I cannot tell you the exact way that they do it. And this is not necessarily 100% connected. But in general, changing your perspective whenever you are trying to think of your answer is a very good way to do it. And there's a couple grammatical techniques that we were also going to talk about. Yeah, that's kind of that. Let's get to it. So, for example, here's the question. So basically, imagine that you're somebody else. Yeah. Also, you can think about the time period. So imagine you're somebody in the past. So, for example, the question is, should we ban hunting for sport? Okay, hunting as a sport. Your answer could be yes. Your answer could be no. These are the 2 main answers. Here are some answers from different types of people, right? So for this case, let's imagine we have 2 sides, right? We have yes and no. Oh my God, sorry. Jesus, difficult. Okay, so for this argument, we have 2 sides, yes and no. What I want you to do right now is this. Take your paper or whatever, thing you have, and write down for yes, who might say yes? What kind of people would agree with this? And then for the no side, what kind of people would agree with that? What kind of people want to say no? Write that down right now. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. Write down at least 3 people for each side. Okay, I'm actually going to remove this. One second. Write down at least 3 people for each side, and then I'm going to be asking some of you guys. So you're going to get 20 seconds. You may start. So the question is, should we ban hunting for sport fun? So think about 3 people who would say yes and 3 people who would say no. Okay. Okay, so your timer is finished, so I'm going to be choosing 1 or 2 of you, and I want you guys to tell me I want you guys to tell me what people do you think, so raise your hand right now if you wrote this down, what kind of people do you think would say yes, or what kind of people do you think would say no? Ibrahim, I have unmuted you, please say hi.
My answer, yeah. For banning.
What?
My answer is yes. Yeah. Because it depends on our political thinking, and the first of all is maybe just our government.
My question. I'm not asking you to answer the question. My question was, what kind of people would say yes? What kind of people would say no? Like professions, different kinds of professions.
I didn't know exactly about like professions, you know.
Okay. Did anybody else write down the professions and the ideas from the chat? Like who would think this here? Muhammad Ali, if you have any ideas. Sorry, Ibrahim. We'll be giving feedback a little bit later. So did you write down the professions that you think could be doing yes or no?
Of course. Why not? All right. First of all, the people who will say yes is, of course, I saw the, brainstorming session right here, and hunters will say yes, he said. And yeah, of course, and I said also, rich people who try to take up this as a recreational activity, will say yes, of course, because, they don't know how to spend their money, and that's why they will do it. They like this kind of activities, right? And people who will say no is protectors that, preserve animals, try to protect them, of course, government as well. Government at the first place, or in the first place. Which one is true? In the first place?
In the first place. In the first place.
Yeah, in the first place. Yeah,
awesome.
government.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you so much, Muhammad Ali. That's awesome. Great job. Yeah, so let me talk a bit more about that. Thank you, Muhammad Ali. Yes, all of these situations, right? Each of these ideas give you a whole new thing to talk about. So if we think about it logically, right? So you have your IELTS test, you are talking, right? Your question is, should we ban hunting for sport or for fun? So you've never hunted in your life. You don't know, right? You don't care necessarily. This is a stupid question for you. But you know that in the world, there are people that care. And a very good point, rich people probably care. And whenever you think of the word rich, immediately you think of the opposite of that word, poor. So you can give some kind of contrast. Rich people would probably really care. Yes, they do not want hunting to be banned. Hunting should remain, right? While poor people probably don't care so much. They care more about the environment. And so they would say, yes, we should ban it. Simple as that. It makes sense. Immediately, you have this like double-sidedness, and you have two ideas instead of one idea. Immediately. And this is the same thing for like old people and young people, European people, American people, Asian people and non-Asian people. Like so many different things, so many different sides. People from Uzbekistan, people not from Uzbekistan. A lot of different ideas that you could be using where it's like two of them at the same time. I recommend you to try that. But here there are just different professions, for example. A hunter might say, no, because it is a traditional activity handed down for generations that has had many benefits related to family bonding and personal enjoyment. Now, this is a way that you can think of ideas, but this is not necessarily a way that you should be speaking. So how you should use this lesson and what idea do I actually want you to take from this, right? The idea that I want you to take from this is that you can mention, from the side of something. Or people that are something, probably something. So those are the two main structures. I'm actually going to write that down. One sec. So this is basically two structures that you can use using this. So in this case, you would put some kind of word, like the word medicine or law or politics or all that kind of stuff, like some kind of general term, general word. So for example, a doctor might say, yes, because there are countless hunting injuries each year, and these often involve people who are not even hunting. So from the side of medicine, I think that it is very common for people to be injured while they're hunting, so I think that we should ban hunting. So immediately, you are using a different concept, a different person, a different point of view, a different perspective in order to come up with new ideas. Really, really, really good structure and really good technique. And this is something that comes from acting. And another one is people that are something probably think that. And these two you can actually just say. A person in the past might say, these two you can just say it. Or I would say, and you can say that after. People that are poor probably don't care about hunting because they don't have the money to pay for it, whereas and also a good whereas. Whereas. Great vocabulary word. Recommend you to use it. Great word. It's a synonym of the word on the other hand. Whereas. So that is the technique of brainstorming with perspective change. Let's move on to the second technique, which is question words. This one's a bit simple. I'm not going to be explaining these because I think these are quite easy to understand. Question words. Who, where, why, when, how much, many, what, which. You ask yourself these questions. The most popular and the best question that you can ask yourself is why. And after you ask why, you can actually ask why again. And you can just go down and down and down and deeper to the next level. Because this topic is, the question of why is very powerful. To give you a little bit more information about that, one way that actually I was taught to think is the Toshiba marketing method. So Toshiba is a car and I think also electronics company in Japan. And they have created a system for their marketing agency, for their marketing department. Like whenever they do advertisements, this is the plan and the system that they go through. So what they do is they have some kind of idea or they have some kind of like marketing, something that they're trying to do. And before they do it, they ask themselves, why? Why do I want to do this? Why is this our advertisement? They ask themselves that question. And then after they have their answer, they ask why again. And then again, and then again, and then again, and then again. They ask it 5 times. This is the 5 why system. And you can actually Google this. You can see this online. And this technique is great. And you can ask yourself why a lot of times. And you can keep going and going. And the deeper you go, the more different vocabulary you're going to use. Because each time, the topic is going to be more and more complicated. Right? Like, should we ban hunting for sports? This topic is very specific. Right? We start with something very small. Hunting for sport. Yes, I think we should ban it because I don't think it's good for people. Why is it not good for people? I think that hunting for sport makes people more violent Why? Because whenever you kill other things for sport, that goes into your brain as something that you should be doing. Why? Because whenever we have some kind of activity we do all the time, because that's some kind of activity that becomes a habit, it becomes part of our brain and becomes part of our thinking. Why? Because humans have been designed to adapt to their environment and adapt to their hobbies and adapt to the things they're doing. And so because of that, all of the things in their environment become a part of their culture. And so because of that, if hunting becomes a big part of our culture, then killing will be very popular in the streets and between different people. So as you can see, I just went down 5 levels of why. And I got from the topic of hunting for sport to hunting and killing other people becoming a part of our culture. And you can do this for basically any question. And the deeper you go, the more different vocabulary you're going to use. That's it. This technique is great. The 5 why technique. I'm going to actually write this down. Okay, and let's move on to the last one, which is wishful thinking. Basically, wishful thinking is think about the ideal solution. Will people in the future continue to live in the city rather than the countryside? The ideal future would be most people living in cities for work, but still, large populations outside the cities, no. Basically, what you're doing is, instead of directly answering the question is, will people in the future continue to live in the city rather than in the countryside? Very specific. What you are doing is you are taking basically something completely different. You are talking about what you think will be the perfect future. You are not being realistic. You are taking your own opinion, personal, and you are putting your opinion on the world, basically. So, recommend you do this as well. And another thing that you can do this is the worst possible outcome. So the worst way that things are going to go. So those 2 things, I recommend you to also think about those. So use one of these in any situation when you feel like you don't know what to do. Use one of these. These brainstorming techniques are beautiful. They are amazing. And for today, I'm only going to be asking you part 3 questions, no part 1 questions. And I will be asking you part 3 questions on different topics because I want you to try using these techniques. So hopefully you wrote down some of this information, and let's get to the feedback. And I'm going to be asking only part 3 questions from different topics, so not from this vocabulary topic. I'm going to go right here. So yeah, today's topic was about brainstorming effectively, brainstorming well, and thinking about different kinds of ideas. So let's get to it. By the way, you guys, I have to just tell you, on the 1st of on the 2nd of September, there's going to be a demo lesson for the next upcoming course. Remember to join that. It's going to be free, and it's going to have a bit of a different structure, kind of different. It'll be similar to this, but different, and the topic will also be different. Yeah. Let me send you. Sorry, let me find my questions. One moment. Destination, no. I recently started running. Man, I love sports. Sports is amazing. I recently bought myself like a pair of running shoes for like $100. It's the most money that I've ever spent on clothes because I usually buy the cheapest possible thing. And I'm just having such a great time, man. Like when you invest in yourself and in your clothing and in your comfort, it feels amazing. It's really great. I recommend you to buy like a pair of comfortable shoes if you're ever running. It feels like heaven. Yeah. Okay. So let's get to it. Let me find the list of people for today. Today we're gonna have some feedback. Today is the 31st. Okay. First of all, people from the past sessions. Farouk Muhayo, Sevara Argashova, Farangeshwa Karshi, Feruza Luftulaeva, Imran Abdurafikov, Shosanam Zeboniso, Asledin Begim Kulov, please raise your hands. Asledin Begim Kulov, I know you are here. I saw you today. Please tell me. Please raise your hand. All of the people actually that I named, please raise your hands. Okay. Okay. So, let's move on. Okay. So, Aslan Begim Kulov, I unmuted you. Please say hi.
Hi.
Are you ready for your question?
Yes.
Okay. Your question is going to be a part 3. Here's your question. Do you prefer, is people's health in your country getting better or worse?
Can you repeat the question?
Is people's health in your country getting better or worse?
Well, I'm gonna say yes because nowadays, the first thing technology developed and the system which healthcare developing as well, and a lot of people easily attend any kind of center for searching their how to say sorry, that's it.
Okay. Would you like to give some information about your answer? Is there something you want to say?
Yes, if you have recommendation and feedback.
Okay, I will. Well, first of all, you probably understand. Your answer is a little bit too short. You should try your best to speak a bit longer for part 3. And I would say that the biggest thing is like how I would recommend you to do that. You started talking about technology, right? And you were going into the topic of like technology is improving people's lives. Okay, you couldn't continue talking about that. You didn't know what else to say. Close that topic, move on to the next topic. What about in the past? So the question is people in the past, people today. So why didn't you say something like, nowadays technology is improving? in the past, in Uzbekistan, if you got sick, you had to go to one doctor for the whole city, and then if the doctor didn't have the right medicine, you died, or something like that. I don't know, whatever. Just, you could have looked at it from another perspective. Or, for example, you could have talked about, like, for example, children. For children, the medicine and the healthcare is much better, but if you're an adult and you don't have money, then it's very difficult to get medical care. So you're just, like, look at different sides of the topic. Today's topic is about brainstorming, so look at different sides. But overall, not bad. The system, which healthcare? That's your biggest grammatical problem, and you did not speak enough. But otherwise, you're doing okay. Thank you, Asladin.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Okay, let's move on to the next person. Next person is going to be. Okay. This is difficult. Let's try something new. We are a little bit late to try new things, but I'm going to call every person from today's lesson, and I want all of you to raise your hands. I will unmute all of you, and then I will be doing you feedback one by one. Nargiza S, raise your hand. Mohina, raise your hand. Dilshad Namazov, raise your hand. Malika, raise your hand. Rabia, raise your hand. Hassan, raise your hand. Feruza and Farida, raise your hands. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Mohina, I don't think Mohina and Mohinu are the same person, but I don't know. Nargiza S. Okay, Feruza, yes. Malika, yes. Mohina, yes. Hassan, yes. Farida, yes. Okay, pause. 1 second. No speaking. I think you're for another day. Okay. Once again, Nargiza S, if you're here, please raise your hand. Dilshad Namazov, if you're here, please raise your hand. Rabia, if you're here, please raise your hand. Otherwise, we are going to start. Okay. First is Mahina. Please unmute yourself and say hello.
Hi.
So, here's your question. Here, let me ask you the topic, like which topic you would like more. Would you like to talk about technology or about old people?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, here's your question. Who should be responsible for taking care of the elderly? Families or the government?
I think that both are responsible for taking care of them, because they are kind of people who spend whole life for us to be the one who can help the society and improve the conditions of the country. So both governments and individual people, I mean family, should be responsible for them, and they should care about their health, and they should be satisfied with their works, and we should supply their needs, and that's it.
Okay, cool, not bad. Here's some feedback. First of all, vary your intonation a little bit. You have great grammar. No grammar mistakes almost at all. I didn't hear almost anything. Grammar is amazing. Vocab is okay, but work on academic vocab. You don't have enough of it at all. More vocab, different words. But you said the word kinda, which is good. Kind of is nice. I think that, mainly work on your intonation and the way that you are expressing yourself, right? So like you're using all these words, you're using all these ideas, it's great, but where is the intonation? That's the main thing. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mahina.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a great day. Okay, let's move on. Next person is going to be Feruza. Wait, no, sorry, pause. Okay, yeah, Feruza, say hi.
Hello.
Would you? Okay, here's your question. Would you like a topic about retirement or the internet?
Internet.
Okay. How has the internet changed the way we work?
As far as I consider it as changed, it has a big change. And by comparing the past, in the past, people used to find the information by the paper or just say that's a source of information such as a newspaper or another things. But nowadays, people tend to find the information or whenever they want and what they want. It's easy to use. It's helped to live easier. I just think.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good. I feel like the thing about like it helps people to live easier. I feel like for your answer, just for the structure of specifically that answer, it would be better if it was at the beginning. I feel like it would just sound cooler. Yeah, I would say that's the first thing. Things, pronunciation, by the paper, by compared the past. So work a little bit on like using the word by. The structures as a whole are good, and the idea of your answer is great. But work a little bit on your grammar and on like where you put different things, right? So like intonation is key for this. So I feel like if you said overall, I think the internet has made life so much better compared to the past, and then no, and then like that would just be like really good. Like just the same things you said, change the order, change the intonation a bit, and you've got an amazing answer. Thank you so much, Firuza.
Thank you.
Great job. Awesome. All right, let's move on to the next person. The next person is going to be okay, Malika, please raise your hand.
Hello?
Sorry, please unmute yourself. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, here's your question. I'm not going to ask you. Ha ha ha. Your question is, what problems can people face after retirement?
I think the major problem is with finance, because when they retire, they will face or come across with different problems related to their money. Because when they're in their senior age, they cannot ask for money from their families, and thus they have to buy everything themselves, and maybe their family members pay less attention than before. That's it.
Okay, cool. Not bad. I would say, first of all, come across with is a mistake. What word were you saying? You said like senior aides?
It was actually senior people, old people, I mean.
Okay, makes sense. Yes. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay. So, seniors. I think the word that you're saying is just seniors. I was a little bit confused. I'm sorry. Yeah, work a bit on your pronunciation, I think. Come across with was also a mistake. I don't know. As a whole, you're doing good. Today's, like, you guys are all doing really well. If you can improve one thing, I think rather than academic vocab, you should improve topic-related vocab a little bit. Say something about, say something about old people, like, for example, retirement home, or, like, job satisfaction, something like that. I don't know, so some kind of topic-related vocab, and then you have a really good answer. Yeah. Thank you, Malika.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's move on to the next question. Okay, next is going to be Hassan.
Hi, how's it going?
Going great. Happy to see you. Happy to hear you. Would you like a part 1 or part 3? Sorry, no. Only part 3. Ha ha ha. Oh, ha, ha. I am a bad Alex today. So here's your question.
Okay.
Do you think there will be less illness in the future?
Well, I think there will be more illnesses because nowadays, like COVID, many kind of disease are appearing. So I think there will be many kind of diseases that we cannot think about it, or thought we cannot think we haven't thought about it, or we couldn't came across we can't come across this kind of illnesses. So the example would be like COVID, and so I think, yeah.
Okay, I feel like as soon as you started talking about COVID, it's like your ideas ended there. I feel like you could have gone to the next level. So you could have talked about something like, for example, do you know the word immunity, immune system?
Yeah, I know.
You could have mentioned that. You missed that. That's a vocabulary word that is connected to the topic. That is very good, but you didn't say it. So you could have said something like, I feel like nowadays we are eating so much unhealthy food that everybody has problems with their immune system. And because of this, I think there will be more and more illnesses in the future. This gives like a clear picture, a very clear idea, a lot of very good vocab. By the way, this is not what I believe. This is not my idea, but it's just vocabulary and words that you can use. Of course, they don't care about your opinion on the IELTS test. So yeah, go further. Go to the next level. You just stopped as soon as you started talking about COVID. Whenever you got to like, we couldn't come across. You just started repeating the words come across, couldn't, we, like repeating. When you already get to that point, just repeat the sentence from the beginning, start again, and say the full sentence, the full idea, and then move on to the next idea. It feels like it just finished, like your speech was done at that point. Yeah. Pronunciation of the word because.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's fine. Thank you so much. I hope. Are you here?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
I'm listening you.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's it. You didn't do bad. It's just specifically like you didn't answer enough. That's the main thing. Yeah. Thank you, Hassan.
See you.
Have a good day. All right, and let's move on to the last person for today. Farida, please say hi if you can hear me.
Hi.
Yo. Would you like a question on the topic of airplanes or role models?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Here's your topic. What happens when young people lack good role models? Your microphone is muted. I can't hear you, Farida.
Microphone.
Farida, I can't hear you. Hello? Okay, understandable. Farida, no, she left. That's so sad. Okay, I am a little bit dead. So I'm going to put her on tomorrow's feedback. I hope all of you have a great day. Remember, on the 2nd of February, there will be a demo lesson to do with the next speaking course, number 1. Number 2, please, for this speaking course, the feedback that you have, the information, the ideas that you want to tell us, use the structure. What did I like about the course? What did I dislike about the course? What information is important for me to say about the course? So something about homework, like was there enough homework? Was there not enough homework? Was there too much homework? Did I have any problems with the homework? Was there something I didn't like? All of that stuff, please write that down. All of it is very important. Not only the good things, but also the bad things. Not only the bad things, but also the good things. Together, everything together. Thank you so much for joining me on today's Lesson 16. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow and in the future. Bye, everyone. Bye. Oh my God! Wait, is that Dilshad Namazov? Wait, he was here. He should have been here for the feedback. No, Dilshad Namazov. No, Dilshad Namazov. If you're not here next lesson, I will kill you. Okay? I'm watching you. I know where you live. Feedback tomorrow, Dilshad Namazov. Bye, everyone. Have a good day. See you.